So, what is learning? Learning is the process by which experience and practice result in a stable change in the learner's behavior.
So what is learning and why is it important? The importance of learning is that it helps the individual to acquire the necessary skills through learning and knowledge so that he can achieve his set goals. An important fact about learning is that it is a means to improve knowledge and gain skills that will help in reaching specific goals. Especially sa tua, learning is very important. Labaw na sukad atong nagbata pata until now, we learn to do basic skills, to do basic kanang buluhaton sa balay, and also especially in academics, no, we learn to count, we learn to read, and we learn to write and to spell the words very well. Well, when we also talk about learning again, it is also a process that leads to change, which occurs as a result of experience and increases the potential for improved performance and for future learning. Learning is so good. It's because learning new things gives us feeling of accomplishment, which in turn boosts our confidence in our own capabilities. You'll also feel more ready to take on challenges and explore new business ventures. Acquiring new skills will unveil new opportunities and help you find innovative solutions to problems. No, dili ta maabot sa ato ang sitwasyon karon kung wala ta naga-learn. We are learning, and learning as a process. We just need to learn the process and trust ourselves na kaya nato, and by that we can be motivated and we can fight for our future even nga bisag lisod na. Makakaya magiglaban ang mga students with learning disabilities, kita pa kaya nga normal lang, diba? The permanent change in behavior is not the result of maturation or growing up through the years or because of increase in chronological age. Rather, learning results from efficient learning that develops the learner's genetic capacity to learn to the maximum in an environment that is conducive to an effective teaching learning process. The student's cognitive, affective, and psychomotor skills and competencies are enhanced as indicated by the knowledge, gain, and performance of the activities and the instructional plans that are taught each day. So, teachers has a very big help towards us sa tanang mga estudyante, sa tanang mga tao nga nag-success sa kalibutan. Kaya because of them, ginamold nila ang atong knowledge and ginatudluan na nila nga itaas ang atong self-confidence, and they motivate us to participate at all times ginapataas ang ato ang academic levels, and especially ilahang teaching learning process is nagatabang jud dako sa tuwa as a student, as a human, as a person na part sa isa ka community. Dili lang kay it's all about academic skills, but it's all about perfect behavior, a good behavior, kasi we are not perfect. So there are three stages of learning: the knowing, using, and inventing. The knowing stage of learning: acquisition and reversion. The initial objective of teaching is for the student to acquire knowledge and skills accurately and meaningfully. Acquisition of knowledge and skills takes place when the instructional goals and objectives, skills and competencies, strategies and materials match the learning ability of the student. In reversion, the content and skills learned earlier are further strengthened to increase accuracy and mastery. Proficiency and automaticity. They are determined by the strength of for learning when mastery of a skill or concept is attained. The learner moves on the sub-stages of proficiency and automaticity. The use of relevant instructional system and practical experiences further increases the chances of achieving the percentage of accuracy in executing the task learned. So in this stage, the practice, drill, review, and some strategies are used with immediate feedback and reinforcement. Through continuous efficient and effective instruction, relevant practice, coaching, and feedback, the student is gradually helped to perform the skills with at least 89% accuracy during the knowing stage. The students will move beyond the conscious recall of content knowledge, thus mastered or the performance of the skills. And the goal is to attain fluency so that the skills are automatically applied to appropriate situations and everyday life. The learner executes the task immediately and successfully without the need to recall their procedures. So in this stage, the students will be able to help their own to learn and to improve their skills without any hesitations kasi it is a stage na naga-practice, naga-drill, naga-review and some strategies nga ginabuhat sa mga teachers toward to the students. And if ever she or he was tasked, no, a learner can execute the task immediately, no, and she or he can successfully achieve his or her goal without kanang coaching, without the mga procedure nga gihatag sa mga teacher, but with the help of her own self tungod sa iyahang mga learnings nga nakuha sa iyahang teacher. The second one is the using stage of learning, maintenance. When the student continues to use the skills thus acquired with proficiency and automaticity over time without explicit instruction, coaching, prompt, help, or reinforcement, then the maintenance is achieved. Generalization. Once a skill is learned proficiently, it should be available for use in any appropriate situation. The goals of generalization are for the learners to recognize a new or different stimulus as prompt, to apply the learned skills, and to use the acquired skills in various situations, behaviors, settings, and time. So in this stage, no, magamit na nila ang ilahang mga na-learn in the first stage, which is the knowing. So in the second stage is using na. So magamit na nila diri ang ilahang mga nahibalaan ng mga skills in the first stage. So it is very helpful rather na ay first stage which is knowing kay in the next which is this stage is magamit na niya iyahang mga learnings in every situation and every different situations or every behavior sa mga tao or estudyante nga iyang ma-interact. So, the using stage. The application of the skills at home and in other environments outside the school is set up. Appropriate feedback and reinforcements are given to strengthen the maintenance of the skills. The learning of new skills is built on the skills that are maintained. If the learned skills are not used, they will weaken, even if they were learned earlier with proficiency. So when we talk about proficiency, it is an advancement in knowledge or skill. It is the progress, the quality of being proficient student. So the last stage, the inventing stage of learning, adaptation. And the last stage of learning, the student recognizes the need to apply learned skills and situations outside the school. So the last stage, inventing, he or she introduces changes or modifications and the skills and applies them to meet the new situation without help or prompts. Although the basic skills have been learned earlier, the student is able to think how they can be used to achieve a current objective and a new situation with or without assistance or coaching and prompts. So this is the last stage of learning. So the student would not ask for help. No, dili na niya kailangan assistant, mga coach, or prompts kay kabalo na siya. He or she can introduce his or her changes sa iyang mga skills and he or she ma-apply na niya sa iyang kaugalingon and not lang, dili lang kay sa iyang kaugalingon but also in engaging her or his community. Magamit na niya labaw nagmakipag-interact siya og mga tao labaw nag mga crowded nga lugar. and without any help, without any coaching, kaya na kay na niya buhaton. And as student A's, they can be able to think how they can be used to achieve a current objective in a new situation. So, the three stages of learning, which is the knowing, using, and inventing, is very helpful and very important to the students. Kasi we all know that learning is a process, and that three kind of stages of learning is part of the process of a student because he or she is learning. From knowing to inventing, no, magamit niya ang iyang mga nabalaan into inventing and makabalo siya sa mga posibleng nga mga mahitabo or mga consequences, and makaya na sa isa ka estudyante nga makipag-interact towards the community where he or she belongs to. So, the three stages of learning is very important though, and it is very helpful for the students kasi the three stages of learning is part of the process kasi it helps the students to improve their skills, especially in the knowing and the using, and also in the last that is inventing, no. The three stages help the student to improve his or her skills, and he tend to learn from it. Kaya niya i-apply siyang kaugalingon, dili lang kayo para sa iya ha, kundi makatabang pod sa uban as she or he interact with the community where she or he belongs, and also sa mga tao nga iyahang mga maka-communicate in the public places.